Hey Nook, can we give him an update? Can we give him an update? How you feeling? He smells the treat bag. Okay. Yeah, Nook is doing a lot better now. If you saw the community post, he did a lot of napping, a lot of recovery, and he's a little bit more stable now. And he's back to looking around for treats, right? Funny thing about Nook, he's kind of tricky to feed because since he was little, he's always hated chicken for some reason. He won't really eat it if it's in dog food. He'll eat a little bit if I cook it, but not enough for it to be like a main food for him. He'll kind of pick at it, but he doesn't like processed dog food kibble type chicken. But I recently discovered that he's all right with quail eggs for some reason. So yeah, the distinguished palate of this gentleman. Yeah, meanwhile, I'm over here eating chicken nuggets so I can afford to feed him quail eggs and pate to you guys. And steak tips to you because you prefer beef, but that's fine. One more? All right, you had kind of a hard day yesterday. One more. Okay, there we go. So that's the update on Nook. He's doing good. And now back to the main video. So, animals are all fed. I can get into these videos now. Let's see. So this is on COODEALS, and I was looking through the website last night because I've been meaning to place an order with them recently here. So I was looking around trying to figure out my own order. And as I was looking around, I kept seeing all these canvases that I had done years before. And so I got the idea that originally I was just going to do one video for this, but I kept seeing more and more canvases. So I think what this will end up being is 3 smaller videos so that, you know, I have space and time to talk about the links and stuff in the information box down below, and I'll link them sort of by topic. So this first video will be, what was I going to call this video? This first one will be like cute and cartoony ones that I came across that I've done. The second video will be ones that I did as partials back in the day, but I haven't seen the partials around anywhere recently. But if you like that image, they have full versions of the partials I did. So that'll be video 2, is partials that you could now work as full drills if you're so interested. And then the third video will be, I think I called it, moody, emotional, what did I call it? Hold on, let me look at my notes. Big feelings. So that'll be all the moody, kind of emotional or flowery or, you know, big feelings invoking type canvases. So starting with the cutesy ones, I mentioned this one in the community post last night. This is a candy cat. Now the one I did, I can't remember where I got mine. I want to say maybe it was Your Best Deals or something like that. I got a long time ago. I got mine in a 30 by 30, one of the budget companies out there. And I haven't seen it around too much since then, but I did spot it on here on COODEALS last night, and I did a 30 by 30, but for this one, COODEALS starts at 35 by 35, and I was thinking that COODEALS just starts all their canvases now at 35 by 35 centimeter size, but I did find some last night that were still at the 30 by 30 in some of their older kits. So there are some floating around the sites that are the 30 by 30 size, but most of them seem to be starting now at the 35 by 35 size. And as far as I know, I believe COODEALS has switched over completely all of their canvases to the, you know, the lint back, the soft canvases with surged edge, and the higher quality type canvases that you tend to see in the more luxury type companies. COODEALS is kind of, years ago, I think they started out as one of the budget companies. Since then, I think they've kind of bumped into like what I would call mid-range. Still pretty affordable overall. And they still do a bunch of sales and stuff, but their prices have gone up a little bit because they upped their materials that they use as far as the lint back canvases and the surged edge and all of that, putting that on all of their canvases across the board. It's more production cost for them, so they have to up the price naturally. So yeah, that's something to consider if you're used to shopping like the cheap companies. This is like the next step up in between going from like super budget up to like Diamond Art Club. This is kind of a mid-range company. So yeah, this is Candy Cat. And one thing I made, one comment I made in the community post last night was that I did mine in a 30 by 30, but since this is starting at a 35 by 35, you're going to get even more detail than you see in the completion reel. I'll link down below, but even in a 30 by 30, it still comes out pretty nice. It's just, there are little parts that are a little bit grainy. Normally with COODEALS, they will tell you over here if it's an AB drill they're including. It looks like this one is just going to be standard drill. They may include ABs as like a surprise. I don't know. Because officially I haven't ever actually ordered from COODEALS yet. That was one of my goals for this month, was to finally place an order with them and see what the quality is like for myself. But just watching other people's videos and kind of looking around the site and things like that, that's the impression I'm getting, is that normally now if it's an AB kit they will put it in the title, but who knows, you might get a surprise. Mine, when I bought mine from a budget company, didn't come with any ABs, but I ended up putting some in putting some in the jelly bean toes, the beans here, and I think I worked some into the gumdrops here or something like that. I think I put a few in the eyes. So yeah, it's a nice canvas to kind of experiment with ABs if you're new to that. So that's Candy Cat. I also came across the Sun Licking Seal one. I think that's what I called this one, because he's got a little ice cream. What? He's so sensitive. He's got a little ice cream cone over here, but he's over here licking the big sun. This one is listed as a 30 by 30, and I think the one I did is a 30 by 30, so that'll give you a good idea of what the canvas quality, well, not canvas quality because it'll be on a different canvas, but what the image quality will be like when it comes out, because it'll be the same size as my completion one that'll be linked below. Very cute canvas. Was really fun to work on. This is another one that, goodness, didn't come with any ABs, but I think when I did mine, I put some in the ice down here, and then I put a little bit of yellow AB, I think, up in the sun, but I didn't do too much with that one. Next one, we got Thumper and, I'm blanking on his girlfriend's name. Thumper and, I can't think of it right now, his lady friend. From Bambi. This one I did, I want to say it was probably maybe like 3 years ago now that I did this one, also in a 30 by 30. So yeah, that one, when you see the completion reel down below, that will also be very similar to what you see, since it's the same size. Another super fun one. The shading on the 30 by 30 came out really nice, I remember, on this one. And then we have Fireworks Mickey. I think in the completion reel you'll see below, I actually have two different styles of Mickey and Minnie sitting in fireworks. I couldn't find the other one that's in that reel. I think I filmed them together, but I did find this one. Also a 30 by 30, which I believe the one I did is also a 30 by 30. Why is this so sensitive down in these pictures? Another one didn't come with any ABs, but I think when I did it, I put some ABs or crystals or something up in the fireworks, as I tend to do with firework canvases. I think I put some coral ABs in her flower here. I think that's all I did. I don't think I did too much with the outfits. I do remember with this one, I had to do some face editing on the budget one I got, because Mickey and Minnie were just given really weird shades. Everything else came out fine with that canvas, but for some reason the coloring that was plotted for Mickey and Minnie's faces was very I don't know, it looked very sallow looking when I tried to do it. It's very like they had kidney issues or something. I don't know. They looked very sickly when I tried to do the colors that were plotted. So I remember with this one, I had to do a bunch of ripping off and replotting over and over again to try to get the tone closer to what the original art was. But other than that, it was a very fun and cute image to work on. And then this one I did not too long ago. I think earlier this year, I think maybe around January, February. I think I called this Mickey Minnie Framed Kiss or something like that. But yeah, this one was really fun, really straightforward. No ABs to it, but again, I think I might have sprinkled a few in Minnie's dress or in her bow. I can't remember. But other than that, I didn't do anything. Just left it as it was, and it came out super sweet and cute. So if you liked that one is there. This one I think I did in my first year of diamond painting, I believe. It was maybe like, I don't know, maybe like the 10th kit or so that I got. I have it around here somewhere, but again, I think I have a completion reel for this one that I'll put down below. But yeah, I thought this was super cute. It comes in a 30 by 30, which I think is the same size I did. I wished it was a little bit bigger for this one, simply because a few of the details around here, for the most part, it came out great, but a few of the details do come out a little bit grainy. Like I think the tape deck, a few of the details are a little bit murky. And also I remember when I did mine, the way the bubbles were plotted down here, they looked weird on the canvas. They were just like weird half lines. So originally you couldn't even tell that there were bubbles on the canvas, because this part up here that you see, it just, I don't know, it wasn't showing up on the canvas for some reason. So it just looked like all these weird squiggles down in the bottom, like the water had parasites or something. I don't know. So I do remember that was one thing I had to do when I went to do that one, is I had to rebuild the circle shape the best I could with like the outline, trying to guess, because I was basically using where the squiggle line was as a guide and then trying to build a circular shape around that. So yeah, that might be a thing, since I don't know how these are going to be printed on COODEALS. They'll probably be pretty nice though. From what I've seen of COODEALS qualities in other people's videos, their printing seems to be pretty nice. So you may not have that issue at all when you get yours if you like this one. But that is one thing I remember having to do with this, is rebuilding these bubbles here. I think the upper ones came out a little bit better, but for some reason these ones down in the water, not so much. And then the little snow owl guy, this was one of the first things I think I found on Temu when Temu first came out with diamond paintings. And I got mine in a 20 by 20 size, and it still came out super cute. This one you're going to get a 30 by 30, but if you liked that image, this is one that I think I mentioned in whatever video I had this in years ago, that this one seems to go in and out of stock pretty quickly whenever it shows up on any site. From what I've seen, because I've tried to get it from a few other places before, and every time I get it, it seems to be pulled out of my cart, like, nope, no longer in stock. Like this one, COODEALS will probably have it in stock for a while, since with these budget sites, they tend to be a lot slower about selling out than, say, if you got it off of Temu or AliExpress or Amazon. These budget companies tend to hold on to their stuff a little bit longer. So yeah, this is here if you liked that one. Don't mind that. That's just, there are a few other bird images in this listing, so that's what that is. But yeah, I found that one in the mix. Next one is the Thick Thighs and Spooky Vibes. I think I did this, last Halloween or right before Halloween or right after Halloween. I can't remember the timeline exactly. But I did a whole canvas edit video on this, and I did a video on how I originally bought this one in a 30 by 30 size, but then that 30 by 30 size got damaged, so I had to reorder it. Ended up re-getting it from Temu in a 40 by 40, and showing you how that came out in the canvas edit video, which I'll try to remember to link all that down below if you like this one and you want to see how that came out. I think in that video I mentioned that I did have some issues still a little bit with the 40 by 40 size as far as some of these tinier details down here. Oops. And some of the wording I had to rework. And I think this spider didn't really come out even on the 40 by 40. It was still a little bit murky. But for the most part, a lot of it came out. So if you liked that one, but you saw the 40 by 40 and you're like, I don't know. There's still a multitude of sizes you can get on COODEALS if you want to size up a little bit. If you want to do squares instead of rounds like I did, you can do that. So you can get a 50 by 50, you can get a 60 by 60, all the way up to 100 by 100, which I think for this type of image might be a little bit overkill, but if that's your thing, get it! So yeah, and then I think that was it for this first round of videos. Yeah, the next one is going to start the partials I was going to talk about. So yeah, that is what I have for round 1 of these finds. If you like this, come back for part 2, which I'm going to start right away. Don't know if these will all be uploaded right at the same time. Might take me a minute, but yeah, come on back and see what else we got to talk about. All right, see you soon, guys.